We are back with the Max Your Dash podcast. Thank you for listening, liking, and sharing. Co-host Steve, co-host Nate. We got a guest. He's been on one before. We talked about financial literacy for children.
Yep, college planning.
Why did we have him on for that one? Maybe because he got 9 kids?
And counting.
Oh, yeah.
And counting.
Want to give a shout out?
He's our family guy.
Family guy.
We're praying for a boy.
Praying for boy. Everybody who's listening and watching, boy.
Oh, yeah. Am I allowed to put that out there?
What?
That you're praying for a boy?
Praying for a boy, yeah.
What if you don't get one?
To be honest, I'm nervous about having a boy. I don't know
for
anything
a fifth.
else.
6,
You think I'll go fifth?
whatever it takes.
Yeah. We'll just keep going till the boy might be 10. Keep going.
You're gonna have a literal bus.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah. I already tried to convince the wife for a Sprinter van.
A Max Your Dash
Those
bus?
are cool. Yeah.
Yeah. What if that would be awesome?
That would be cool.
That would be awesome.
All right. Before we get into today's topic, what's today's date? November something?
We got the 14th.
All right, it's going to be a cool episode to wrap up the year, but we're going to do some Max Your Dash moments. If you're new here, a Max Your Dash moment is a time you're feeling true joy and happiness. Could be something big, could be something small. What's going on in life? I'll go first.
Love that.
I went to Canada with my sister. First time ever going somewhere outside the country.
Start with the Christmas.
What's that noise?
It sounds like you got.
Oh, yeah, that's my zipper. I went to Canada. Kinda scary.
How'd you like that?
Terrible.
You knew how? No.
No.
So how can you say something's your Max Your Dash
And
moment?
it brought
Great
joy.
Let me clarify. The reason it was terrible was because like the traveling and I get like stressed out easy, but like being with my sister was the part of it being a Max Your Dash moment.
And it was just you two.
It was just us two. Yep. And we left right after
Where in
kids went
Canada?
trick or treating, Toronto, and the Blue Jays were playing that night at the World Series.
You didn't go to that though.
No.
Missed opportunity.
How is Toronto? I've always wanted to go to Toronto and Montreal.
It was okay. It was fine. I mean,
I've
we
heard
were
good things.
We were there for literally a day, but it was fun just to spend time with her. Other than the freaking traveling,
I want to go
and
to
stuff.
Banff
What's that?
in Canada.
What's Banff?
Isn't that a big like ski snowboarding?
I don't know.
area?
It's like it looks like the most beautiful place in the world. Like
It's a
just
nature thing.
huge mountains and like lakes and stuff. Like big for like hiking. Yeah, nature lovers.
You're a big nature guy.
I'm a big nature guy,
nature
which
guy.
ties into my Max Your Dash moment. My up.
Ooh,
Yeah, you go.
oh,
All
I
right.
know it. I
Last
know it.
week we had our annual what we call rutcation with the boys.
Rutcation.
Yeah. So we hunted for a week. Me and my real best friend. Sorry guys.
Yep, that's about right.
And we had a blast. Oh, dude, it's the best week. It's like I'm like weird about vacations where like if I go to Aruba or something, I mean I love doing that, don't get me wrong. But like this week, I lose track of time.
Yeah.
Literally. Like I don't know what day of the week it is.
Which is the greatest feeling ever.
Yeah.
I piggybacked off Nate's vacation here.
Oh yeah, you
Or
did.
brought vacation and met him for a drink as they were wrapping up. And, excuse me. And I walked into that bar, and the smiles on these men's face was amazing.
Wait, is that your Max Your Dash moment?
Just seeing the smiles on their face is my Max Your Dash moment. But that was
You've
that
never
was
seen
awesome.
pure joy like
Just
that.
pure joy. It was awesome.
What did Dickie say? It was the best day of his life.
He literally was dancing in the bar saying this is the best day of his life.
Best day.
Great.
Yeah. But he has a lot of those.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
He's a big dash.
So, my Max Your Dash
Make
moment.
it good. This is your second one ever. This could be the last, unless Mark,
I know.
out,
Actually,
Mark.
everybody vote if you want Mark or Ion.
Adam,
comment Ambo or Mark, right?
What if they don't want one of us on? They want
Yeah,
Adam
really.
and Mark.
Get Mark.
Steve out of there.
Or me.
No, that's not going to happen. Mine's not as big as your two, I would say.
Which is okay.
That's okay. That's the point.
I'm gonna switch up from family stuff just because there's a lot I feel like there. Mine is I finished up my fire pit.
Ooh,
Yeah.
recently.
You're a big. For those people who
And-
don't know Adam, he might be the biggest campfire guy out there.
You guys
yeah.
are in some sort of weird
And-
competition.
Yeah, we are.
We have a group text where we
Actually-
send each other pictures whenever we start a campfire just to try to one up each other.
Yep. And I actually have to, now that I think about it, I have two, and they're all campfire related. But sitting around, like I finished that up. I haven't been able to have a bonfire campfire all summer. I've basically daily been doing campfires unless it's snowing. So it's been awesome.
Daily?
Yeah. There's been weekends where that thing's going 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. I'm running out of wood. So
24/7.
24/7.
Are you an expert with like making them now?
There's cheat codes if you're just using some charcoal oil. But the another Max Your Dash moment is Nate Elvers moved by me.
Oh yeah.
And
We're neighbors now.
By the way, huge for our relationship.
Dude, if I had to
Huge
be closer
relationship
to this guy,
yeah.
you imagine?
So
How
so
close
I
are
always
you
thought
guys?
it'd be so cool to have to like make Max Your Dash fire. What are those things called? Like fire rings or whatever, like fire pits. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like the solo stove,
Yeah.
but like it's got like on the side like Max Your
Yeah.
Dash.
Yeah.
So when the fire's going, it's like glowing out the side.
Yeah.
Like we should get we need
I
to
thought
hey,
you. I thought
There's
you
a
were,
lot of opportunity with Max Your Dash.
I thought you were going
we're
to say
kinda
you wanted
dropping the balls.
a Max Your Dash compound. Do you remember back in the day we used to drive past that one neighborhood like near Fisher's Road, and we would say that we would like all live there? It was a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, you and I used to say that a lot. Yeah.
Dude, that would always be sweet. Thinking about
It's
having
right
like
by
a
the Wells Fargo
compound with
building.
your friends is like the ultimate dream. Your friends and
that's
family.
that is on your
Yeah.
vision list.
Yeah, that would just be fun.
Yeah.
All right, well, Max Your Dash moments done.
Check.
Now this goes really well in today's episode. We're not gonna really, we'll talk about finances and stuff today, but I think we are talking about, this is before Thanksgiving and Christmas, Adam. This is our episode. We made an Instagram post where it was, I think we did it on Labor Day. And, like when there's a holiday and everything, everyone's always like gearing up to do something. You have plans with family or this and that and the other thing, just like for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And everything we do is about living a life of fulfillment, but we don't want that to be on like, we want you to be intentional about it. Instead of just waiting for holidays to come, essentially we want to make you live life like it's a holiday on a random Wednesday. You know what I mean? Why do you have to wait for Christmas or Thanksgiving to have these moments and make these memories with the people you love? Because a lot of times think about how many people who have Thanksgiving or Christmas, that's the 1 or 2 times a year they see the people that they're with. And then whenever you leave, you're like, oh, I loved seeing them or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, because it's built into the calendar essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what if we want to like bring it like attention to, what if you lived your life having moments like that more intentionally and not just did it during a holiday? Like what is stopping you from doing that? And it comes always back to being more intentional with your time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how do you be more intentional? Like that's like every time we talk about this stuff, I always find myself trying to think about like, okay, great concept. But like, what is like the people that actually do it? Why do they do it and so many other people don't follow through on stuff?
Right. Because
Yeah.
everyone's got stuff going on. I feel like there's so much going on in people's lives.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of it is action. Like if you think about like Thanksgiving, Christmas, like you're saying, how to live that way on a Wednesday, and that it's basically how you feel, right? Your family's getting around the table, you have people you haven't seen, you're having great conversations, and you get that like Christmas or Thanksgiving like feeling, you know, and so how to create more of that. And a lot of it is like, for me is like action on things, because you do think about people or certain things a lot, meaning like, for example, my dad has a big decision coming up. I haven't talked to him for a while. I've been thinking about calling him. Just call him.
Yeah.
Right. Like that day.
Yeah.
Right. Just call him and have that conversation and check
Yeah.
in and be intentional with who you're talking to and trying to create those, relationships, because we all are like crazy busy.
Yeah.
So making sure we be intentional with that.
I think it's like really important to like, first you have to have the mindset is like be really urgent with your time, and then you will just like start doing these things like more often. You start being intentional. It really comes down to like, you could say is time block it on the calendar. You know what I mean? If you want to have a family or friends night, like time block it on the calendar.
Yeah. And when you think about it, like why does Thanksgiving and Christmas happen every year? Because it's a literal day of the year. It's a tradition it's time blocked.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
By whoever first
By society.
came up with it.
Literally.
It's society time blocked it.
Yep.
So how do you recreate that and do it in of course we're not doing Christmas trees and gifts every Wednesday.
Yeah.
But the point is, I think people get the point, is like, how do you show up like that on a random Wednesday? And how do you do that more often so that you can look back on a year and be like, just feel like you had so much fun and you experienced so much joy. And I mean, at the phase of life that we're in right now, it's really challenging to like, I just feel like days are a blur.
Yeah.
You know, like waking up in the morning and just getting our kids out the door to daycare and then getting to work. Like that whole 2 hour, 3 hour blur is insane. And then you're working. And then you get home and it's another blur of getting dinners ready and you're fighting with your kids and they're crying and this is going on. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's 8 o'clock and the kids are finally asleep and you're just gassed.
Yeah.
So how do you show up on a random Wednesday when that's your life and have a great time?
And you do a good job with this with the calendar block of like, I see it on your calendar, like dinner, right? Like family dinner every day. And that for me is huge. Meaning like every day I try to get home most of the time by dinner and we sit at the dinner table and our kids are young. So the conversation's different, but you try to say, how was your day? And try to get those feelings out and like those discussions of like, how's everything going in the midst of the craziness. And there might be one kid crying when one's talking, but that is like sacred time for our family. And that's where I learn the most about our family, even my wife, right? Of like what she's saying. So for me, that's like sacred. And to be these like random Wednesdays for like holiday side is part of it's like being grateful. Right. And so some of that discussions happen at the dinner table for me too. Is like, what are we grateful for, blessed for, and the thankful for? Those are kind of the feelings you get around that Christmas, Thanksgiving, and how to create that over and over day to day. So
it's crazy because Christmas and Thanksgiving forces everyone to get off of their individual treadmill. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you're done.
That's a good point.
Everything takes a backseat to what you were doing. Work, everything is done. You get off your treadmill and then you all come together.
Yeah.
But what if you just did that more and you didn't need the excuse of Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Yep.
And this works for me. And like, this is like, I'm always kind of what's the word? Like the morbid way to look at it. But like, I don't know why this always works for me. I feel like it scares me, but we talk about this is like, imagine you only see your parents once a year or twice a year for Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? Your parents are 70.
Yeah.
So how many more times are you going to see your parents?
Yeah.
I think about that. And then that's like, I'm not saying like that has to force you to be more intentional of going over your parents' house all the time because like what if they different state or something like that, but pick up the phone and call them.
What that does is it creates a high level of urgency.
Yes.
And when you feel urgent, then you actually take action and do things.
Yep.
So the key to all of this is how do you recreate that level of urgency about, making every week Wednesdays is what we're just kind of saying here, but like, how do you have a high level of urgency about making that day or that evening or whatever really special?
Yeah.
And it's hard to do.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of tricks you can play on your brain, like you're doing there. Another one is like, I've seen these crazy charts. I think we maybe have posted it, recreated it sort of about like again, in my situation, my kids, I only have them in my life as much as I do today for 18 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And already like Grayson turns 4 in January. So already 4 of the 18 are gone.
Yeah.
So I've got 14 years left. And by the way, when he's 13 or 14, he's probably not going to want to be home as much because he's got friends and whatever. Yeah. So how many, you could do the same thing, but with your kid and be like, how many Wednesdays do I have left of like dedicated time with my son?
How many more trick-or-treating times do you have?
So then that just changes your urgency about what matters most. And that's how we get to a place of, like, you guys know me, I'm all about like taking action. Like, how are you going to act? Like, cool idea, but how are you going to actually do it?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff you got to do to like get yourself to make it really a priority.
Yeah.
And that thought right there, that you're like that thought exercise going into your door helps you also not care about the little things. Like my middle child took crayons and drew all over a dining room wall, right? I walked in, I'm at the dinner table, I'm like, what's that? And it's like, immediate was like frustration, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like thinking the way you just like said, Nate, would be like, okay, one day I'm gonna miss that.
How many more writing on the walls do you have?
Yes, yeah. Even though it's,
maybe 3.
Yeah, and that's like thinking about that instead of getting frustrated. We made it into like a game. Like she understood that you can't do that, but you gotta. I'm gonna miss that one day, right? When they're 18 out of the house, I'm gonna miss the drawing on the walls, even though I don't want it to happen frequently. But that's a great way to think heading into some of these moments.
Yeah. I feel like it's such a double-edged sword because these memories and moments that you make are so precious because they're scarce and you don't have a lot of, like, if you start realizing that the time you have is limited just in life in general, but then stack on think about how much of your time you spend eating or sleeping and then working, and then really how much time do you have left? And then those moments that you're making become so precious to you, and you're like, I want to do everything I can to have more of these moments, because that's what life is about at the end of the day.
Yep.
And why do you think people don't? Right, like you said, like, hey, we want to take action, but why? Because majority, I would say, of people don't actually live their life like that, or even think that.
Sure.
Right? So, like, why do you think that happens? Because if you're talking the way we've just talked, the family like strife that happens over, like, you hear of Thanksgiving and Christmas, that butt in, doesn't matter because there's finite time, right? You can be mad at your cousin or your grandparents or whatever, but that doesn't matter because you only have certain time. So, like, why do you think people don't?
Because, dude, everyone's going through the motions. I feel like it's easy for life to get monotonous for people. They do the same thing over and over again every day. And I feel like it's hard for them to get out of that mindset, because really you're changing the way you're living. You know what I mean?
You're playing, we always talk about it. Most people are playing life on defense, not on offense.
Yeah.
And so a couple of little tricks I feel like so first of all, some people are like hardwired to be like the planners, and like they are really good at this. I just call that 20% of the population. The other 80% are not that way. And then as life gets busier, then you're going through the motions. You're really playing life on defense. And then voila, all of a sudden, like I was thinking about this the other day, like I'm almost 40. That's just crazy to think about.
That is crazy.
I'm going to go through one of these midlife crises soon.
Yeah.
Are you?
Scared.
I don't think you'd go through a midlife crisis.
I don't know.
And it's going to be epic.
I'm staying out of the office.
It's going to be epic.
So, like some little things that I've done and my wife and I have done in our life that is helping in this regard, and I feel like we've got a lot of room for improvement on this as well, is like I brought up a bunch of times on this pod. I feel like the Max Your Dash weekly chalkboard. We have that in our house, and every week we identify what is one thing we're going to do this week to max our dash. Tonight's date night. We got babysitters coming over. Just Nicole and I are going to go to dinner. That's one thing. So every week, and again, I think there's so much power in it being visual.
Yeah.
Like we talked about this calendar idea that I'm pushing you hard on getting done by January 1, so our listeners can get it going. Like that visual of is going to be really powerful.
Real. It makes it real.
Because when you get out, again, you might listen to this episode and you get excited about this idea, and maybe you even go do something next week. But then like 4 weeks from now, talk to me if you're still doing something.
Exactly.
But when you make it visual in your house or wherever, you see it all the time. And then you're starting to actually train your subconscious.
I think the thing that we want, it makes you be proactive. I think a lot of the times when people become like this, like you're talking about, is when a tragedy happens, and then it opens up your eyes. You know what I mean? And that's being reactive. And then you start living your life. You're like, oh, like I should be doing this. You know what I mean? But why don't we be proactive and do it like that? You know what I mean?
The other thing I was going to say that I had an idea on, I was telling you this when we were preparing for this. So I was like gone all of last week with our little hunting vacation, and this week it was on my mind. I'm like, I want to be really intentional with my wife and my family this week or whatever. And it was like Tuesday night, or I think it was Tuesday, or maybe it was even Monday night. I don't remember. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, Nicole was picking up the kids. I was getting dinner ready before they even got home. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? When she walks in the door, I'm going to say, babe, let's put our phones in the drawer. And we're not allowed to look at them until 9 p.m. Nothing's going to happen. Let's not make that excuse. And we're like, just force ourselves into this environment of like us. We're just going to hang out with no phones and whatever. And just like something as simple as that was really, really impactful. And I was thinking about it afterwards when I was talking to you about like, that was just kind of like a decision to show up differently tonight. And so that's great. But like, that's kind of what we're getting at is like, how do you just start showing up each week a little bit differently? And, again, I feel like I did that because the week before I felt like I was lacking. And so I'm not going to feel that same level of urgency next week. The chalkboard thing helps me, but like, I wish I would be, I almost think like, again, using Christmas or Thanksgiving as an example, like a tradition. So it's like maybe Monday nights every week now becomes the week. It's like phones go in the drawer. We do not. It just becomes, it's, game night. Like we're going to play a board game as a family every Tuesday night, whatever. You pick something that becomes a routine that is doing what we're kind of talking about, where you're spending really meaningful time with whoever. And by the way, we're using family a lot. It could be a friend. It could be parents.
Yeah.
It could be
How
whatever.
were you intentional with that? The ruck trip? What do you call it? What do you guys put that in your
Ruckation,
calendar?
ruckation.
Start of the year?
Every year, yeah. We usually do like the same week every year. It's like the first week in November.
Yeah.
But we start talking about it like seriously, like come like
Yeah.
July.
Yeah.
And all of our spouses know that we're doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
it gets really put on the calendar probably in the summer.
When was the last time you were intentional like that?
And you got hold please.
trying to follow that up. Probably not gonna.
You guys have adapted real well with that vacation too. Meaning, like you used to go to Ohio for that, and because of family and things like that, you've adjusted to your hunting property, and like it's still a priority. It's just it's different. In 5 years,
It
from now,
would have
might
been
be even more
really easy
different.
for us to
Stop.
doing it.
Yeah,
and that
because
was
of
a big
kids.
thing.
Yeah.
Like last year, I had my son on October 18th,
Yep.
And you still did it?
and we still did it.
Yep.
God bless my wife. She's
Yep.
amazing.
She is amazing. By the way, how I'm intentional. Thanks, Steve.
Give me a specific time. Last time. It could be something small.
So every Wednesday, I go home early and I cook for the family.
See it on your calendar.
See on my calendar. Yep. Every Friday morning, and now this does get off a little bit, but every Friday morning I block off, especially in the summer, Friday mornings to like go on walks, cook breakfast, like do that with my kids.
Sourdough pancakes.
Sourdough pancakes.
Whoa.
Yep.
Can I stop over?
Yep. Sourdough pancakes. You've had them. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's a sourdough
that's
pancake. That's a
Dude,
thing.
it's my favorite pancake of all time.
A lot of pancakes out there.
It's but actually that's like the sourdough start where you start these like pancakes is passed from my stepmom's mom, right?
Wow.
So like originally from like
And
Russia,
daily sourdough.
and it's 200 plus years
What's up
old.
with you in Russia?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So
Russian spy.
Wait, so you said that Friday morning you do that
Friday
now?
mornings.
Cool.
Now that has kind of
Did you do it
'cause of
today?
life. Yes, I did today, but I also had dad duty all day.
But
yes, it was
you're just intentional.
But that was intentional. But I will say the phone thing gets to me. Right, especially I don't think we're too bad when like we get home with the kids.
What
but
is more
once-
triggering than when your spouse says to you, like, what are you doing on your phone?
Oh yeah, gosh.
Oh, man. I want to I just want to get a fist fight.
yeah.
Like, you should see yourself on the phone.
Yep. And that's where like the kids are down to sleep at 8 o'clock, whatever, and then you come down and all you want to do is be on the phone, don't want to talk
Reels.
to anybody,
Yeah.
reels, and that's where you do it. Separate couches, and you're like,
I
that's
got
not
like
a good
17
love,
of my
though.
friends sent me funny
Send me
reels. So I
funny
got to get
stuff.
through them.
Yep, yep, 100%. So half of them are from Meg anyway, so we're watching the same stuff.
So this is how you guys are financial planners. This has nothing to do with finance. Wait a sec. Financial freedom. What does this do for this?
Yeah.
It slows everything down. I feel like if you have zero stress, by the way, if you're listening to this and you have zero financial stress, think about what your life is like. You probably do some of this. You know what I mean? Already. But if you take away financial stress, it lets you be more intentional with moments you want to make.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Yeah, and through this like exercise and being more intentional, you'll realize what you spend your money on isn't important. Meaning like what's true important. You'll find out like, because when we talk about max your dash moments, like you brought up some big ones, but you can find max your dash moments, right? And I think we've talked about this before of like my kids running up and hugging me every day is a great moment.
Yeah.
Right, like a max and dash moment for me, right? So if you're thinking of like what is the max and dash moments consistently in my life, right, and go through this, you'll find that like, hey, where you're spending your money, and I'm a victim of this too, right? Of like spending your money on things that probably aren't aligned to your values, right? And
we gotta get Joey. We got some great ideas. We gotta get off.
and that's where I think like being in that mindset will align the finances.
You're so right, because then you start realizing like, what am I actually spending my money on? Wait, why did I even buy this? It was $200. I don't care about it at all. I freaking went on this trip with my buddies for a week, and this was like the best thing ever. And I spent X amount of money. It was so worth it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to stop spending the money on that 200 and spend it on this as much as I can.
100%. And it's tough. Like this is another piece of the holidays is as much as it creates these moments, it's also some of the most stressful times for people.
Right.
And that's
You're
where
spending
it's
all
like,
this money,
and
stuff like that.
when you actually break down to it, and my wife and I have had these conversations too of like, do the kids need more things?
Yeah.
Right. How do we align the finances to, okay, let's spend the same amount, but let's create more experiences or more, what's more important? Like my big thing this year is I'm taking the girls to go get gifts for each other. They're going to pick out gifts. I have a budget. They're going to have budget. Cool. They're going to pay for it. They're going to do this, and they're going to give it to their sibling. Like that's like to show gratitude and like I got this versus us just having a bunch of gifts when you walk down and everyone's excited. Now again, there's some of that, but you get and then the toys from last Christmas are in storage already, right? So did that really align to what's important? So
I heard a good example earlier this week where I did I was interviewing somebody and they were telling me this story about how their dad would give her money every week to go to school, like more than she needed for like lunches and stuff on purpose. And then said, whatever you save up over the course of Monday through Friday, on Friday night, we're going to have a date night and we can go wherever that money will allow us to go. Yeah. So teach her the power of not only like saving money for things that are more important, but then also, again, it's a tradition on Fridays. Yeah. We're going to go have a date, the father and daughter. Yep. So she's learning a couple of things all at once. But like that is just like, if people just put on a creative hat for a second and just ask themselves the question, what am I going to do this week and moving forward on a weekly basis to live an intentional life, to max my dash, to have great joy? You'll come up with something, right? And just implement it.
Do it, and those things become like core memories. Mm-hmm. Like everyone has maybe that version of thing in their family or something, and that literally follows you your entire life. It's so powerful.
Well, think about what you said of like picking a Monday and that's board game. Your sons will be like, when they have families, probably very similar. Yeah. Be like, hey, let's pick a night where we are, doing board games or whatever.
But it's got to be time locked, like Christmas.
Well, your kids will be time locked.
Stop letting the government and other people pick your.
Dude, should we start pushing for Max Your Dash holiday?
Yeah,
we could really start. Can you imagine?
Dude, what if we picked a Max Your Dash day and we celebrated it as
Max Your Dash day.
Clients, everything.
Dude, why don't we? Day. Yeah, we should have like some sort of party cookout Max Your Dash day. How have we not thought about this?
Fly people.
What are you doing for Max Your Dash day? Yeah.
All right.
This is right around the holidays. We just want everyone to put this in your brain. Be more intentional with moments like this throughout the year. We want you to have a great holiday, but start thinking about ways you can be proactive, play life on offense. You don't have to wait for a holiday to make memories with the people that you love. You don't have a lot of time, so do it more. This is gonna make you happy.
Yep.
Life's a beautiful thing. Enjoy it.
Anything else?
No, I think we crushed it.
I think we did. All right, guys. Thank you for listening and watching the Max Dash podcast. We will catch you in the next one.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Osaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth.